let's get through news very quickly because we have a lot to get through this week. So I'm just gonna knock mine out. Akira Amano, she announced her new manga. It's supposed to be a detective manga with a special ability or a secret. I honestly wouldn't put it past her to basically be like, oh, this is a descendant of, Reborn or something like that, and then pick that stuff right back on up. I'd be all the way there for it. My Hero Academia season 5, teaser trailer dropped. I don't read the manga, so when they basically was like, hey, it's time for Class A to go against Class B, I'm like, I love a showcase. Let's do it. Everybody showcase new powers. Especially because I want to see some of those new powers that they showcased in the second movie that have not been premiered in the anime yet. So excited about that. Kimetsu no Yaiba movies coming in 2021. That is of no surprise to me. I will be finding it on the internet subbed because I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to wait for that shit. And the biggest thing, I guess, of the week, or the thing that's I saw trending on Twitter, was the Higurashi When They Cry thing, where they basically pulled the fast one on everyone and said, hey, this is actually not a remake. This is a sequel.
Yeah, that was a shock to me because I am not familiar with the series, but I heard that it had prior episodes or some prior adaptation, so I figured, oh, okay, this is just a remake because it was long enough ago.
Yeah,
that it didn't feel current, but okay, cool. I'm still into it. It didn't feel like I needed to know anything.
Oh, you kept watching it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because they're showing apparently the two girls that are centerpiece or something. They were just if you don't know the previous story, then blah blah blah. And I was like, oh my god, okay, I'm just gonna not pay attention to it anymore.
Yeah, well, it didn't affect my viewing. I was just more surprised by it because I enjoyed the first episode, and again, I didn't feel like I needed to really know anything because it's a mystery. So you're kept in the dark about a lot of stuff. Now I can accept that maybe after the first few episodes, maybe they lean into things that need context.
Well, they already said that the second episode was full of huge spoilers from the original series.
See, because I don't know anything, then
yeah,
it went right over my head. So
yeah. Oh well, that's that. That's all I got.
Yeah, literally the only thing I have on my radar is there was the announcement for the Resident Evil movie. So there were two announcements, right? We got they're rebooting the Resident Evil Hollywood movie trilogy. So that's number one.
What? I thought those were good already.
How many did you watch? That's the question.
None.
If you were a teenager in the late 90s and watched the first one, maybe you'd have that feeling. If you watched, I
feel like I maybe saw it on cable by accident.
Yeah, everything after the first one was even that I don't want to get into it. Not great. So they've announced that. They've announced that they're going to be redoing or rebooting that series entirely, and then I think there was also an announcement of a Resident Evil either visual novel or manga series that they're also producing that may coincide with the new game that they're working on.
Oh, Village.
Yeah, so which is really interesting to me.
Scary as fuck.
I don't think I've beaten a Resident Evil game since 4. Well, no, that's not true. I beat Resident Evil 5, but the especially when they went to the 6, the first person, and all that stuff, that was too much for me. So I tapped out, even though I was a replay watcher. I wasn't a player, but Resident Evil as a franchise, I really love. And as a fighting game player who cut his teeth on Marvel vs. Capcom, and I was a Jill main in that game. So just little things. I feel like Resident Evil is one of those series that it's really big, but for some reason it's not as big as it could be. Because
I think the only experience I have with Resident Evil at all, knowing any of the plot, is because of the 3DS games Project X Zone. And Project X Zone 2, that brought so many characters from so many different Capcom and all this other kind of shit together. And actually, was that how I think I got into some series. No, there were definitely series of, there were video games that were released in Japan that weren't released in America. And like that got me into researching those, but that was the only way that I knew anything about like Resident Evil people, like at all, because I was like, I'm not doing that horror shit. Like you got me fucked up. Like I'm not doing that. I would scream bloody murder.
Yeah, if anyone who was like, I think the most shine Resident Evil has gotten outside of its mainline games has been through like fighting games of some kind. So like, and as far as like recent stuff, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had a bunch of two Resident Evil characters in it. The new Infinite also had one, I think. So you know they show up elsewhere, but cool to see that the movies are coming back. Hopefully, it sounds like the new reboot movie is going to follow the plot of the games.
Oh, okay.
Very directly. So it's going to be a remake of or a essentially a remake of the first game, RE1, which is cool. And I'm down for it. But that was just sort of a general announcement. They didn't really provide any other information. So you know, the last there was a 3D animated Resident Evil movie a few years ago, I think, which was okay. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So let's just do the stuff that we're familiar with first and then move on. So let's